I think with that, we would like to turn to our final speaker, who is a champion in his own right and who represents the importance of a whole of society approach to any public health response. Mr. Marcel Arsenault is CEO of Pax Sapien and One Earth Future. He's also a member of the Giving Pledge. So, Monsieur Arsenault, what role should foundations and non-governmental organizations play in preparing for the future?
Well, thank you. I would like to turn our attention to the future. Thank you, Madame Vice President and world leaders here. COVID-19 has clearly demonstrated that the world was not prepared for a pandemic. Humanity had no unified plan. As I see it, 7 billion people, no plan. Fortunately, today marks a turning point. America and others are making a new commitment. Today, at the most senior level, there's determination, a goal, and indeed a call to action. Eventually, any effective plan and an effective implementation will require the whole of global society. We need to join together and work together. The global community is being invited to work together to defeat our most dangerous future enemy, the next pandemic. A focus on future pandemics is critical. As destructive as COVID-19 has been, it could prove to be a mere dress rehearsal for a far more devastating pandemic. Philanthropy has a role to play. Philanthropy operates by different rules than government. Philanthropists can commit for the long term. Pandemic prevention may require a decade or more of concentrated effort. Philanthropists can also view problems at the systemic and the global level, not just the national level. I'm happy to announce that in recognition of the critical need facing the world, my board has just approved a new $200 million commitment to help prevent future pandemics. We hope to use this funding in partnership with other donors and global institutions to build a better global system. While $200 million is a big commitment for Pax Sapiens, it is only a drop in the bucket. Fortunately, many leading philanthropists have been at the table for a decade, as we've heard, raising concerns about pandemics. They are also newly engaged and mobilizing. We call for other new donors around the world, like Pax Sapiens, to join this effort. Today's existing global systems have let us down. Existing systems were underfunded, ad hoc, and uncoordinated. Over the next year, our foundation will be hosting a series of convenings, encouraging coordination of global donors in partnership with global experts at all levels. We will try to find points of agreement around funding and strategy for questions like the following. What new institutions are needed? What should be modified? And especially, how can we create sustainable funding? Money matters. We will explore creative financing mechanisms outside of traditional state-based development assistance, even though that development assistance will be critical. We applaud the idea of a financial intermediary fund as a pathway to funding. We encourage funding through the FIF, but any plan will require a broader ecosystem of financial support. Experts have advised us philanthropists for quite a while that pandemics are absolutely preventable, but prevention requires an all-hands-on-deck supporting a viable plan. Today, we call on philanthropists and foundations, especially new donors around the world, to join in partnership. We must work with the governments to come together and decide how we create the architecture which is reliable on preventing the next pandemic. Together, we can do this. Thank you for your time.
Well, Mr. Arsenault, thank you for your $200 million commitment. It's really encouraging too, because this is what we mean when we talk about building back better together. You had Vice President Harris speak to our own commitment of $250 million for this financial intermediary fund, and now we hear a philanthropist coming through with very close to that amount. And so we applaud those of you who are convening your peers, who are rallying each other to support this cause, because we keep hearing throughout the day that it will take all of us to truly win this fight and to be prepared for anything that comes our way in the future.